I've got the top 10 first basemen in fantasy baseball coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello sports fans and welcome back to another season of fantasy baseball here on Beat the Odds. I'm going to count down the top 10 first basemen for this upcoming 2024 season. And if you like this content, please smash that like button. A special thanks goes to all of our subscribers who have been watching these videos, as you now account for 23% of all viewers. To the other 77% of viewers who haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so as it helps me create these videos for you. Also, leave a comment on a player that you think deserves to be on this list. Now, this episode is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy Sports. Use the promo code BEATTHEODDS to double your first deposit up to $250. And first-time users get a free square. Like tonight, if you bet on LeBron to score 1 point and he does, then you win. Let's kick things off here with Spencer Steer. Last season, he had 74 runs scored, 23 homers, 86 runs batted in, 15 stolen bases, and a .271 average. Steer is a popular pick as he is a decent hitter with above average speed and his eligibility all over the diamond. Outside of being disciplined at the plate, Steer doesn't really excel in any metric. His counting stats are more a result of the success of the players around him. If he happens to slot near the middle of the lineup, then you can expect similar results here for this year. Let's go to number 9. We have Spencer Torkelson. Last season, he had 88 runs scored, 31 homers, 94 runs batted in, 3 stolen bases, and a .233 average. The metrics do show that Torkelson's 2023 season was somewhat unlucky, and the former number 1 pick has the tools to improve on a solid showing that he posted. The 24-year-old is starting to show some discipline at the plate, as well, being in the top third in walk percentage and in the 80th percentile in chase percentage. I'm expecting Torkelson will log a batting average closer to his expected batting average of .253 last season. He may find the seats a few more times in 2024 as well, making him likely the cheapest bet for 35 homers that you're going to see. Let's go to number 8. We have Tristan Casas. Last season, he had 66 runs scored, 24 homers, 65 runs batted in, and a .263 average. Casas could be Boston's big power threat in 2024. He's got an advanced eye and he punishes pitches, placing in the 80th percentile in expected slugging, barrel percentage, and hard hit percentage. He should be targeted, especially if you aren't planning on spending a high draft pick on one of the premier first basemen. Casas should slot in a prime spot in the lineup as well, and he could be a 30-homer, 100 RBI batter this year. To number 7 we go. We have Christian Walker. Last season, he had 86 runs scored, 33 homers, 103 runs batted in, 11 stolen bases, and a .258 average. Walker finished in the 90th percentile in barrel percent, and will look to continue those ways in 2024. He is an aggressive base runner, but the 32-year-old is also showing signs of slowing down, so I wouldn't bank on double-digit steals this season. With Corbin Carroll hitting in front of him, however, Walker will have some easy opportunities to cash in runners, so another 100 RBI season should be a lock. Let's go over to number 6. We have Paul Goldschmidt. 89 runs scored last season, 25 homers, 80 runs batted in, 11 stolen bases, and a .268 average. Goldie is a pure hitter, plain and simple. Yes, he is getting up there in age, and regression is a concern, but you can land them at a pretty discount here in drafts this year. Goldschmidt was 93rd percentile in hard hit percentage last year, and could easily go off for another 30 home run season this year. He's no longer in the top tier of first baseman, but he's a great target to go after once the first few rounds have completed. Let's go to number 5. We have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 78 runs scored last season, 26 homers, 94 runs batted in, 5 stolen bases, and a .264 average. Vlad is the biggest question mark on this list. His 48-homer season in 2021 kind of spoiled us all into thinking that he was going to be the face of the league. But let's not forget that he's still somehow only 24 years old, and he is far more likely to return to his 40-homer ways than to flame out completely. Guerrero's expected batting average was 31 points higher than the .264 that he posted, and his expected slugging was also 54 points higher. There is a good chance that this season proves to be luckier than his last one. Alright, over to number 4, we have Pete Alonso. 92 runs scored last season, 46 homers, 118 runs batted in, 4 stolen bases, and a .217 average. Polar Bear Pete can mash. He is going to be at or near the top of the home run list again this season. He's likely not going to hit .217 either, but don't expect him to compete for a batting title. Strangely enough, though, Alonso's is in the 46th percentile for hard hit percentage, which is a clear outlier, and if it corrects, you can expect more of his fly balls to find the seats. Another 40 home run season for Pete is a pretty good lock. Let's go to number 3. We have Bryce Harper. 84 runs scored last season, 21 homers, 72 runs batted in, 11 stolen bases, and a .293 average. Bryce is a professional hitter. Even with his slow start to the season, Harper finished the year with a 900 OPS thanks to an elite 14.7 walk rate. Health is really the only concern that I have with Harper, as he is less than a year removed from returning from Tommy John surgery. Now, if he happens to clear 140 games this season, he's going to be my dark horse for NL MVP this year. To number 2 we go. We have Matt Olson. Last season, 127 runs scored, 54 homers, 139 runs batted in, a stolen base, and a .283 average. What a year the Braves had, anchored by a monster season from Matt Olson. He might have been a bit lucky given Olson's expected batting average was .264, but you can't ignore the fact that he was in the top 97 percentile in expected slugging, expected ISO, expected exit velocity, maximum exit velocity, and hard hit percentage. It was always a risk to invest in a player that's coming off a career year, but the beauty of selecting Olson is that he's going to be hitting in the middle of the best offense of our generation. And finally, at number 1, we have Freddy Freeman. Last year, he had 131 runs scored, 29 homers, 102 runs batted in, 23 stolen bases, and a .331 average. Now, how do you rack up 23 steals when you're in the bottom third in the league in speed? You take your craft seriously. It's the same mindset that Steady Freddy has in his approach at the plate. Every batting metric that StatCast measures, Freeman is in the top half of the league. He's the best contact hitter in the league, and he's going to continue that dominance here this season. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We are going to sign off for now, but I'll catch you guys on the next episode.